The next station is Shibuya.
Let's say you only have 24 hours to eat in Shibuya. This is every single restaurant I would recommend you to go. This is Ichiran Ramen, and it's probably the most popular vending machine ramen that exists in Japan. It is famous for its individual sitting booth, which gives you complete privacy and you don't even see the servers. There are even set meals you can purchase to just lessen the thinking for it. Personally, I always recommend Ichiran to foreigners or first-timers to Japan because they have completely optimized the approach, and it's incredibly foreigner-friendly. There's English everywhere, and because you're ordering via a vending machine, you don't have to feel worried about not being able to speak Japanese because you just have to be able to press a button. Delicious tonkatsu-based ramen, so what more can you really ask? Just keep in mind that when you're going to Ichiran, it's best to have cash on hand, just in case the machine doesn't take card. So that is Ichiran Ramen. This is Kiwamiya, another very famous location located in Shibuya Parco. It's a DIY teppanyaki style, and the major selling point of this place is that it's halal friendly as well. They have the full certification and everything. Alongside the meat, which is the main style of this restaurant, they also have a wide variety of rice dishes with this beautiful egg yolk with a deep sunset color. I think this is one of the best value meals you can get in Shibuya. The food is not only very delicious, and you get to cook it by yourself, and you guys have free refills of the set meal you order, and it's just only a bit more expensive. I think being able to cook the meat to the doneness that you like is great for groups so that you don't have too many disputes or argument about the doneness of the meat, and everyone can cook it to their own liking. So once again, this is Kiwamiya. Speaking of which, let's move on to more ramen. This is Tori Paitan, which is a chicken-based ramen. It's a counterpart to the tonkatsu in a way. And I have a little confession. As much as I love this restaurant and I come to this restaurant frequently during my trip to Japan, I don't actually know the name of this restaurant. I don't think I've ever seen a name for it, or it's completely in Japanese and I can't read any of the characters. So to counteract that, I have included a very useful guide from Google Maps itself. Because while I do not know the name of the restaurant, I know exactly where it is, and I always follow my stomach to a good place. It is located within the main Shibuya street, are surrounded by all of the bars in the area, so it makes for a good pre-night out meal. And once again, very similar to Ichiran, please make sure you have cash on hand because this vending machine does not take card at all and you need to pay in cash only. This is my favorite chicken ramen in Shibuya, so I hope you would check it out. Or what if you're getting a bit too tired of all the soup-based ramen? Well, dotted all over Shibuya is dry oil-based ramen, which doesn't really have a broth, it's more of a sauce kind of thing, and they allow for a great amount of customization. You can add a ton of Bldg, which I highly recommend because it will help cut through the richness of the oil or the sauce that they are using. And there's the option to add different kinds of toppings. Each restaurant would tend to have their own variant, but dry ramen was definitely my food hyperfixation of my last trip. Like the grip this dish had on me was something else. And I find with this kind of dish, there tend to be a bit more variety with the noodle textures they use. It's best suited to the different kind of oil base that is being used in each dish. So I think it's a good try. I think you'll definitely feel very, very full. And you'll definitely find a newfound appreciation for vinegar and the way vinegar can change a dish. Most of the time, I find that the oil itself doesn't have a taste. It's more of a mouthfeel kind of thing. And it's the additional of the other flavors and other components of the dish that really give it its flavor and its unique taste. But however, if you're tired of the amount of noodles you're eating, there is an interesting dish here that's inspired by Lady Gaga's meat dress. Now it looks a little bit intimidating because it is raw, but there's been some changes. Now the meat is lightly seared. This footage was taken from one of my previous trips, and it's one of the most delicious things I've ever eaten. It is a rice dish. There is a combination of meat, seafood, uni, and some salmon roll. For this dish in particular, I think the wasabi and soy sauce combination is very important because it helps cut through the richness of the entire dish. As well as adding a copious amount of salt because I like my food to be extra salty, but I can always skip the step if you prefer something a bit lighter. And this is me just drizzling the wasabi and soy sauce combination over my dish before I start eating it. I like to wrap up all of the different components of this dish in kind of like a meat sushi kind of way, like kind of a wrap. Because there's so many other things underneath as well. There is pickled radish, there's also a whole egg underneath. But I recommend that you save the egg for the later part of the dish because once you've eaten halfway of it or you've eaten most of the toppings, there is a container or bonito stock for you to add to your dish to kind of make it a porridge of some sort. Again, please do bring cash for this place, especially if you're a foreigner. Next is a place I go specifically for the sushi that is known as luxurious and overflowing mouthful of sushi. This place is a grilled seafood place where you grill your own food in front of you. But I go here specifically for this sushi because I think it's one of the unique things I've seen in Japan and I really enjoy it, along with this onigiri which has crab miso in the center of it. To me, it's the pure definition of a comfort food because it's rice. I'm Asian, I love eating rice. It's grilled with soy sauce and the crab miso really adds a new depth of flavor to the entire dish. It's just carbs upon more carbs. And it comes with a bit of pickled vegetables inside to just help balance out the whole dish. So this is a lovely place and there's a lot of food to try out. And of course, if you're in the middle of a night out or you're just looking for some snack, a gyoza is always a great option. And this place specializes in gyoza. You can get them grilled, you can get them boiled, you can even get them fried. But I prefer it grilled and I like to add a lot of vinegar because no surprises. And I'll add a bit of soy sauce along with the chili oil they provide. And I think this is the best way to eat gyoza because it really brings out its flavor. And since this place specializes in gyoza, you can even get them 20 or 30. Or you can get them as a set meal with some of the other main courses they have. But I come here just to eat the gyoza and I can eat a lot of it. I can eat 12 at one go and honestly, I think I can do the 22, but let's not test the limit on that. And I like to absolutely baptize my gyoza in the sauce. So this thing is going in for a swim in the sauce. It's going to get completely marinated in it before it goes into my mouth. It is exceedingly affordable. The last I ate here, 12 gyozas only cost 580 yen and it's very filling. So these are all the places I would go to if I only had 24 hours to eat in Shibuya. I'll leave all of the addresses to all these restaurants featured in this video in the description box below and hope you'll be able to check out some of them and enjoy the food much like I have. So happy eating, happy traveling, and I'll see you guys in my next video.